edition, the PM updates on Crown land policy. The Marijuana Commission is on the move, and it's Monday, so let's take a trip down to Grand Bahama. Welcome to the morning edition. I'm LaDon Davis. Thanks for waking up with us. We've got ourselves a winner. Captain Burton Marie is our Independence Clue-In winner for last week. He will enjoy a weekend stay at Comfort Suites. Our Independence Clue-In continues this week, so stay tuned and keep watching for those clues each day. Call out Charles Fisher on Friday at 502-3880 with the 5 clues in the correct order and win your weekend stay at Comfort Suites. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's see what weather is in store for us this week. Here's the Bank of the Bahamas weather report with the Morning Edition's weatherman, Basil Dean.
This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
Well, good morning, LaDon. We have a couple of troughs moving across the Bahamas. The first one over the southeast Bahamas, and that will generate some showers and thunderstorms in that neck of the wood. Second one moving across the capital and North Eleuthera. That will lift north of us later on today. And then we are looking at the remnants of Barry, now just a tropical depression, continuing to push towards the north, will continue to generate some showers as it does that as well. But outside of our studios, we have partly cloudy skies, temperature 81 degrees, relative humidity 88%, easterly winds at 6 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,018.4 millibars, that's 30.07 inches, and it is steady. Temperatures around the islands this morning, 82 in Marsh, Barbacoa, Green Toll Key, Freeport as well, in the Berry Islands, 82. Allenstown, Bimini, 83 degrees, 81 in Harbour Island. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 82, 81 in Otterstown, Cat Island. Stanley Key, Kemps Bay, South Andros, 82, 81 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. In San Salvador and Rim Key, 81 degrees. More 81s in Ragged Island, Clarence Town, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Mayaguana, 82, Acklands, 82, Matchitown, Inagua, 82, and 80 degrees in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Your boating forecast for today in the northwestern islands, east to southeast winds, 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. We have a low tide at 12:31 this afternoon, meaning we are right now into a high tide. We'll have a second high tide at 6:56 in the afternoon. And for the central and southeastern Bahamas, easterly winds 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet over the ocean, so caution flags up for boaters in the central and southeastern Bahamas. That's going to do it for your first look at Weather the Morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks, Basil. The Bahamas' first traffic report is up next with Kelsey Johnson, Lyndon Smith, and the traffic team.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
We apologize for those technical difficulties. The Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, Prime Minister, releasing more information on his government's Crown land policy. The Prime Minister announced during his budget communication in Parliament last month that the new Crown land project and approval of Crown land applications will begin pretty soon. Prime Minister Minnis revealed last night that he has requested the Attorney General to create new legislation that will facilitate the purchase of Crown land by interested Bahamians in order to generate more wealth across this country.
New laws will be issued that as land is given to you, you can sell such land, but a Crown land can only be sold among the Bahamian populace. And in special circumstances, where Crown land must be sold to the private sector for expansion, in those cases, the land will be leased to the private sector for 99 years. That would ensure that our jewel return back to us. This is necessary if our people are to advance from poverty to middle class to wealth.
The former Hospitality Professionals Association celebrated its 5th anniversary last week with several events, including a gala awards banquet at the Melia Nassau Beach Resort. The event honored 15 retired hospitality professionals for their work in the industry, along with the Lifetime Achievement Award being given to veteran hoteliers George Myers and Berkeley Williamson. Association President Paulette Dean told our news team that many persons are interested in growing the association's 200-plus membership.
A lot of people are curious because currently we're meeting at the cricket club. And so I think once we get a home, and especially when people who are retired don't have to climb those steps, we will see more persons come. So this, even though it's an award ceremony, it is also a fundraiser because we're trying to get a building where we can do more than just have socials, but also use the training that we attained over the years to train young people, skills. You know, I think young people, if I know just how to set a table or to use a spoon and a fork, it will give me a different mindset.
Meanwhile, members of the Bahamas National Commission on Marijuana are still surveying the public on whether or not they are for or against legalizing the substance. The commission is currently drafting a report and will submit their recommendations between September and October this year. The commission has conducted a series of town hall meetings in Eleuthera, New Providence, and Grand Bahama. Several meetings are also expected to take place in Andros in a few weeks. But there's been a heated debate among Bahamians over the fact that it's a conflict of interest for a Rastafarian to be sitting on the Bahamas National Commission on Marijuana and to also lobby for the substance to be legalized based on their religious beliefs.
The government chose the committee, and so I think it's only fair that the Rastafarians are there to voice their opinion, their position. But indeed, we have a very balanced commission. We have some persons pro and con, and that comes out. But at this stage, what we're doing is hearing the voices and opinions of the Bahamian people.
The Bahamas Feeding Network has distributed 5,000 hot meals, parcels, and food vouchers to 5,500 hungry Bahamians in need weekly for the past 13 years. The program has 110 members comprising of church members, soup kitchen volunteers, and feeding organizations right here in New Providence and around the Family Islands. Over the weekend, members hosted a stakeout in the hopes of selling 4,000 tickets to assist its feeding outreach ministry. President of the Bahamas Feeding Network, Philip Smith, says it's been a blessing to give than to receive.
We have distributed over almost $500,000 in food vouchers, okay? So we distribute food vouchers here and also in the Family Islands. The food that we cook and the parcels that we distribute, about 80% of that is distributed through our membership of soup kitchens, feeding organizations, and churches. So on a Sunday, for example, when we cook and distribute 3,500 meals, about 2,000 of that is distributed through probably 40% of our membership, 40 churches and soup kitchens that come and collect at our center in Fox Hill.
Let's go now to our Kelsey Johnson, who is standing by with the Bahamas First traffic report.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. We're here on Moss Road, not too far from the Thompson Boulevard intersection, which is directly in the back of the University of the Bahamas. Now, officers are out in full force this morning. They are educating the early morning commuters about the right turn on Moss Road into Bahamas Games Boulevard and the right turn from Bahamas Games Boulevard back onto Moss Road. Joining me live is Sergeant Jerron Thompson, who will tell us exactly how we're supposed to make that turn without causing an accident and congestion.
Good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas. When persons approach this intersection, whether you're making a right turn from Moss Road onto Bahamas Games Boulevard, or if you're exiting Bahamas Games Boulevard to travel, make a right turn onto Moss Road, we like persons to practice the 3 C's. That is concentration, courtesy, and common sense. Also, you can add patience to that. You have to pass 2 lines of traffic, whether you're exiting or entering from Moss Road or Bahamas Game Boulevard. So you have to pay extra attention, and we ask the persons who are on the main thoroughfare to practice courtesy in allowing traffic to flow, in allowing persons to exit. And we want persons that are exiting not to try to bully the persons who have the right of way. We have many crashes at this intersection, and we would like to see a decrease in that.
So how long should I wait if I want to turn onto Bahamas Games Boulevard from Moss Road?
Once the way is not clear, you have to wait. You have to wait. Like I said, you have to practice patience. You just can't try to bully your way onto the main thoroughfare, because if you were to get in an accident, you would be charged with an accident.
So I will be in the wrong.
Exactly. You would be in the wrong.
All right, thank you so much, Sergeant Thompson. We do encourage all motorists anywhere on the streets of Nassau this morning to drive with caution and care. Back to you in the studio, LaDawn.
Well, Kelsey, it's Monday, so it's time to take a trip to the Northern Service, who visited Abaco recently, so stay close.
Because I love to be connected to the Bahamian community. We always have something uplifting happening within our country.
It's Monday, so it's time to see what the Northern Service is up to. Jamila Mizik of the Northern Service spoke to residents of Abaco and filed this report.
Refer to the island of Abaco as being the Bahamas' third city after New Providence and Grand Bahama, as it is one of the country's more developed islands infrastructurally and economically. And these residents agree that Abaco is making a name for itself. Resident Gary Smith says since independence 46 years ago, the island has definitely come a long way.
We have all the government services on the island, very few things that we have to leave for to go to Nassau for. And you notice we have several major banking facilities here, as well as hardware stores and whatever you need in the community, with a few exceptions. And this is why it's became such a popular destination with the cruising yachtsmen. Never thought I'd live to see the day I'll be in a traffic jam in Marsh Harbor, but sometimes on a Friday, you can be stuck in traffic for 5 to 10 minutes.
Now, Smith says one of the major contributions to the island's successful development is its growing tourism economy.
And tourism is really booming on the Abacos. We are a popular destination. What also contributes to our success in tourism is we have a lot of second homeowners on the various keys. So even I recall after the hurricane, when a lot of islands didn't have any visitors, we were fortunate enough that people came in to look at their property. So in that regard, we're doing extremely well.
Grand Bahama native Caravan Ferguson, who is now an Abaco resident, says like many other Bahamians, he relocated to the island for employment opportunities.
The harvest is ripe at Abaco. Abaco is very amazing, you know. The harvest is ripe, I'm telling you. Where different people from different islands come to Abaco just for a job, you know. I meet a lot of Grand Bahamians in Abaco working, Baker's Bay, Hope Town, and different places.
But moving forward, here's what Smith says he'd like to see changed.
We have a voluntary fire service here. That's been the pet peeve with me. They've done the yeoman's job, and we appreciate it. But I think we've reached a stage now where we need to have a firemen 24/7. They get to there in time, but they have to round up everybody to come and go. And that's one of the things that I'd like to see change.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Jamila. Find out how you can stay cool and beat the heat this summer in this report with Kelsey Johnson.
The heat is definitely on, and in this case, it's the hot temperatures. So how do you stay cool in what is being called a scorcher? Dr. Zena Friend said drinking water is one way you can stay hydrated and beat the heat.
So hydration is important, particularly in the summer months, because we sweat a lot more, which means that we lose a lot more water. So once our sweating increases and we're losing that amount of water, we actually need to replace it. Water is so important because it's critical to optimal body functioning. Every cell, organ, tissue in your body requires water in order to work properly. To be honest, I wouldn't want to risk going without water, especially here in the Bahamas, again, because as the temperature increases, so does our sweating.
And with the temperatures rising, how much water should you drink?
Now, on a daily basis, the recommended daily amount for women would be 90 ounces, and for men would be 125, and that's to keep our body functioning.
Summer is a time for fun. You can go to the beach, travel, and there are tons of parties, which can mean an increase in your alcohol intake. Dr. Friend has this advice for party goers.
So my rule there is don't overindulge, so limit your alcohol intake as well as any caffeinated drinks, just because they act as diuretics on the system, which means they increase the amount of water we lose through urine. If you are going to have alcohol, my recommendation would be for each alcoholic drink, you have a glass of water.
Just how the check all signs comes on in the car, your body gives off some warning signs.
Fatigue, dizziness, headache, dark urine, thirst, dry mouth. Those are the most common, and those are the early warning signs of dehydration and worth watching out for, especially in these summer months.
Summer started a month ago, and that means the kids are out of school. Dr. Friend encourages parents to make sure they are drinking water as well. We still have about 2.5 months to go until the end of summer. With the increase in temperatures, we encourage you to grab a bottle of water. Kelsey Johnson, ZNS Network News.
Fisher, we've really been braving some scorching hot temperatures lately.
Scorching hot temperature. That was a very good story there by Kelsey. Yeah. I learned a lot. So every 1 beer or 2 beer that you consume, you got to drink at least 4. 4 bottles of water. Rodney's in the background laughing because I know he's going to drink about 6 bottles of water today. Now coming up in sports, we had the Flag Football Championship yesterday over at the Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium, and also the Peace on the Streets basketball tournament tips off today. They are going to need to stay hydrated as well.
That and more ahead in sports.
Good morning. Once again, the Bahamas Flag Football Championship games played Sunday at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium and playing in prime time brought out the best. Let's start with the ladies and Paradise Games Wildcats taking on the Caribbean Liquor Panthers. This one a very close one in the first half. Defense was the key, but the Wildcats clawed their way to another title, taking this one 12-zip.
I think we were on point. We practiced all week. We really prepared for this game, and we came out, we won, and I'm not really surprised, to be honest with you. I don't know if that sounds cocky, but too bad. We came, we won, and that was our goal.
Man, it feels great, man. It's, you know, as you guys know, it's hard to repeat as champions. There was a lot of talk out there, but we remained focused. You know, we came out, executed our game plan, and we got the job done.
Let's kick now with the men and the 7 Seas Predators putting the undefeated record on the line against the Avengers. And this one, too, very close. Add another title to the Predators and history 10-7, the final score and perfect season intact.
I told them, our guys in the first half, settle down. We gave up a touchdown on the first possession, and we was able to get a field goal just before the half. And I told them in the second half, I said, guys, we got 25 minutes, go out there and make history. They took the mantle and they did it. So, really proud of them.
John Krell Jones and the Connecticut Sun seem to be back on track following a 5-game losing streak. Jones 11 for 19 from the field and finished with a season high 26 points, 8 rebounds, 3 steals, and 3 blocks, as the Sun also snapped a 4-game losing road skid with a 76-63 blowout of the Indiana Fever. They play again this coming Friday in Atlanta. And the Peace on the Streets basketball tournament tips off today. Expect another exciting week of hoops, according to organizer Carlos Reed.
We have become the elite basketball event of the summer. This year, we could boast that we have 6 divisions. We have just included the girls division. So each one of these divisions have 8 teams. We have a problem where there are more teams than we allotted space for this year. And I believe that is a good problem to have. The goal of our tournament is to bring young men and women now together to shoot hoops instead of guns. We will be down at the Hope Center from Monday to Thursday, and then on Friday night we take it over to the Kendall Isaac Gymnasium, and then our climax will be on that Saturday at the Kendall Isaac Gymnasium, where we're going to feature all of our championship games. We're going to feature our slam dunk contest sponsored by Robus, our Sunshine Auto 3-point shootout, and one of our new events with this year, our celebrity game going to be between the pastors, politicians combined, going up against the Number Boys, and that is creating a buzz around this country, and we believe that's going to be an awesome event.
Looking forward to a great week of hoops in the Peace on the Streets basketball tournament. Once again, that tips off today. And that's a look at sports. Thanks for watching.
In our final look at weather, Tropical Depression Barry continues to move north across the southern United States, and our satellite picture showing a couple of troughing, one across the southeast Bahamas that will trigger a few showers and thunderstorms in that neck of the wood. We have a secondary trough right across the northwest Bahamas, moving across North Eleuthera and New Providence, but it should push north of us later today, and that will give way to some clearing skies as well. Our forecast for today, partly sunny with pop-up showers and thunderstorms in the mix. High temperature getting up to 90 degrees. And tonight we're looking at mainly clear as that trough lifts towards the north. Low temperature getting down to 79 degrees. And your extended weather forecast, weather improving over the next few days. Looking at lots of sunshine in our forecast, but it's going to continue to be very, very hot. So we ask you to take in a lot of liquids, and particularly water, to keep yourself hydrated. LaDawn?
Thanks a lot, Basil. That's a wrap for us today. Make sure to join us tomorrow when we continue our Independence Clue In. Tune in and look for the clues in each Morning Edition newscast up to July 26th and be the winner of a weekend stay at Comfort Suites on fabulous Paradise Island. Call Charles Fisher on Friday morning after this newscast at 502-3880 with the answers in the correct order. And just before we go, we want to wish our colleague Dennis Gomez a very special happy birthday. I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great day, everyone.